This is what your favorite director says about you. I don't feel the need to give much of an intro to this one, so let's just jump right into it. Steven Spielberg. You're definitely Gen X and grew up on the first true blockbusters. Nothing wrong with that, it's just a fact. Martin Scorsese. You may be a bit pretentious toward Marvel fans, and pretty much anyone who mainly just goes to the theater for blockbusters, and you definitely think swearing is a sign of maturity. But hey, the classics are classic for a reason. Stanley Kubrick. You love two kinds of movies, the classics and weird shit. So, best of both worlds. David Lynch. You just love weird shit. Francis Ford Coppola. You know there's other good movies besides the first two Godfathers, right? Alfred Hitchcock. Some of you probably genuinely love his movies, but I bet most of you just want to pretentiously show off that you once took a class in film history, though you probably couldn't name a single other director from his time. Orson Welles. You definitely just want to prove you took that film history class. Christopher Nolan. You only really go to the theater for massive tentpole events, and you primarily watch movies for the epic spectacle, but you do like them to make you feel smart for liking them as well. You also love sounding like an expert when you talk to your normie friends about movies, but you don't want to admit that you haven't actually seen that many. Quentin Tarantino. You're a bit of an edgelord, but like an artsy edgelord. You get a kick out of over-the-top gory violence and snappy vulgar dialogue. You may or may not have a foot fetish, and you like to be able to turn your brain off and just munch on popcorn when you go to the theater, but you still want to feel like a cinephile when you do. Paul Thomas Anderson. You are a certified online cinephile. That's not necessarily an insult or a compliment. I'm just saying, worshipping PTA, whether you actually enjoy his films or not, is basically a rite of passage to join the internet cinephile club. And that's fine, just don't be too loud about it, you don't want to look desperate to get in. Wes Anderson. You're probably a bit on the spectrum, aren't you? James Wan. You're a standard millennial horror fan. Ari Aster. You're a standard Gen Z horror fan. Guillermo del Toro. You just like cool monsters. Tim Burton. You're one of those weirdos who keeps Halloween decorations up all year long. M. Night Shyamalan. You've been in a coma since 2004. Zack Snyder. The Snyderverse is over already. I'm not even hating on it, I'm just saying, grow up and move on. James Gunn. You're really just a DC fan who hates Zack Snyder, aren't you? Michael Bay. You love explosions. Roland Emmerich. You love bigger explosions. Joseph Kosinski. You love anything that goes fast. Ridley Scott. Your definitions of quality are gritty and epic. Mel Gibson. Your definitions of quality are gritty and epic. And you're a conservative Christian. David Fincher. Your definition of quality is just gritty. And smart too, I guess, but mostly gritty. James Cameron. Your definition of quality is just epic. Rian Johnson. Your definition of quality is just subversive. The Russo brothers. You're just an MCU fan. George Lucas. You're just a Star Wars fan, and honestly, probably an older one. Peter Jackson. You're just a Lord of the Rings fan, but I'm one of you, so it's okay. Denis Villeneuve. Either you're just like the Christopher Nolan fans, but want to answer the question with a slightly less ubiquitous household name, or you're just a Dune fan. Matt Reeves. You recognize that The Batman is the best Batman movie. Alex Garland. You're a bit adventurous, aren't you? You don't just like one kind of thing, you like some variety on your palate. Plus, I bet you try to answer every question you can in the most unique and discussion-provoking way possible, which is either very refreshing when it's sincere, or else it's incredibly pretentious. Darren Aronofsky. If Alex Garland fans like to dabble around, you just can't commit to anything. Edgar Wright. You're just kind of fun and quirky in general, aren't you? Taika Waititi. You're also fun and quirky, and you refuse to acknowledge that Thor Love and Thunder exists. The Coen brothers. You've got a fun and quirky side, but underneath, you've also got a bit of a darker streak. Hayao Miyazaki. You're just annoyed that this is the only foreign or animated filmmaker I've included in this list so far. Lord and Miller. You've got ADHD. Robert Eggers. You are a Nazi for historical accuracy, which is not an insult because I am one of you. Greta Gerwig. You probably just want to prove you can name a single female filmmaker with a decent track record. And finally, Jordan Peele. Either you're still stuck in 2016, which, fair, or you're just trying to look progressive by naming the first relatively young, non-white director to cleverly use social commentary you can think of. In which case, come on, Ryan Coogler is right there. But that's going to be all for today. Did I include your favorite director? If so, how much did I offend you? If not, Let me know who it is. Either way, comment if you want to see a part 2 and tell me who I should include. I know this is quite different from my usual content, but it was fun to make, so let me know if you want to see more like it. Until next time, just keep thinking out loud.